Hey, everybody, it's Adam. This is Comic Industry Insiders Live, your weekly appointment with bald people talking about comics and the comics industry. I know it's a very rare instance. You almost never see it. You ever have one of those days that went exactly as according to plan, where you woke up first thing in the morning and you knew what you were doing all day and you went through the whole day with no surprises? What was that like? You're going to have to tell me. Well, it's time for our pre-show banter, everybody. We got about 11 minutes before we do the official launch of this episode. But I've got a few friends I'm going to bring up, and we're going to just, I don't know, talk and let you guys file into the room and definitely come into the chat. Let's see. Who should we bring up? You know what? I wish I knew how to make myself really small, and then because I wanted there to be less Adam and more Megan. Hey, Megan.
Hey, you're giving Paul his request.
Paul, you were such a good sport for letting us give you money, and so now what we've done is giving you exactly what you're asking for. How is your day so far, Megan? How you doing?
Good. I got a sneak peek of that bestsellers list, which was a lot of fun to look at.
Oh, I know. It's fun. It's a fun one.
It's a fun one, and it's nice to see creators we like and that we're kind of friendly with hitting the top of the charts. So I'm
yeah.
Success for you, success for you, success for everybody. That's what I want to see.
You get on the top 10, and you get on the top 10. And speaking of top 10, easily in my top 10 of editors that I've ever worked with, Mr. Joe Keating. Hi, my friend.
Man. You've been at this for a while. That's a pretty elite group. 10.
I mean, listen, I love editors, but I will say that, it's a very difficult job, and it often takes a toll on people. And when you're the sales guy, you often take the blame for all the things they don't like. So there you go. That's so you, my friend, though, you have never once, I don't think, blamed me for something in my hearing. It's possible.
That's true. Not in your hearing.
How's your week been so far?
It's been very good. I'm excited to announce I have upgraded my spinner rack. The book that has like a holy grail for a long time, but I'm very cheap. I only buy like very good comics. But anyway, I've got X-Men 141 and 142 now on top of the 80s side of my spinner rack. So I'm very excited to do that here today.
Well, about the size of a spinner rack in my office is this stack of Comics the Magazine number 2s.
I'm jealous. Mine haven't come here yet.
I know. Look at that. That's a big stack of Battle Beast is what that is. So
very cool.
Battle Beast is a chunky boy.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely not using that phrase as a segue for Gabe Yoakum. I didn't though. I didn't use it. It was not a segue.
Yeah, fine. You see what I got here? This is the satanic texts. I'm gonna go ahead and read a couple of these in your honor a little later. Maybe somebody did that yesterday, though. I don't know.
Listen, we're all piecing this thing together.
I'll tell you this.
Yes.
Speaking of piecing stuff together, issue 3 is coming along, kids, and I think the word's getting out there. I don't know if a lot of people are just happen to be watching this thing and deciding to email Gabe at comicsthemagazine.com or what, but if there's some interest in issue number 4, you better get off your butts, because issue 3 is sold out.
Well, what?
Yep.
Sold out.
Wow.
Ad space in issue 3. You heard it here first, folks. Ad space in issue 3 of Comics the Magazine sold out.
Yeah, I'm working now like several paginations ahead on issues.
Yeah.
We're gonna run out of space. This is not just I'm not involved in the sales side. I'm just telling you guys the editorial truth.
Listen,
so if you want in,
I would say we're going to need a bigger boat, but we have a boat that we can manage. So if you want in, you better get in this boat fast.
Yeah, I would. If I had to estimate, I'd say within the next 7 to 10 days, issue 4 will be out the door, as it were. So get them in, kids. Hit me up. Let me know what you're thinking about, and we'll do the thing. And classifieds are always an option too.
That's true. Thank you, Tommy.
I put a classified in issue number 3, everybody.
Oh, that's right. I've been meaning to put classifieds in. I always forget, and that just means that I'm really the worst offender. That's all that really means. So I'm not. Whatever. I
will say this as well.
What? Let's hear it.
I hate the fact that I just am the guy that comes and shills ads every time I come on the pre-show. But it's what I'm most excited about in my life outside of my 3-year-old and my wife. So let's keep on cruising. Speaking of Battle Beast, we got this in the mail yesterday, and
you got it
show you anything on the inside. Look, we talked about it on the pre-show, Joe. You live in Idaho. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't talk about where I live. It's not true.
I'm in Indiana.
Don't listen to him.
The wrong place.
I don't know about y'all. I'm somewhere. I don't know. Somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. Speaking of oceans, hey, Blue World. Look at me. I'm Segway King today. I am segwaying my ass off. Thanks. We really enjoyed putting that together, and I can't wait for everybody to see issue 2 next week. It's going to be it is a beast, literally. And I am so proud of what you guys have done there. All I did was just say, hey, let's get a band together, and here we are. It's impressive. What else is going on? Is there anything that's not Comics the Magazine related that we can fill 5 minutes with while everybody files into the room?
Right now, it's all Comics Magazine and Rekka.
That's right. Rekka's coming in hot
together. And the first free comic book day issue at the presses. That's pretty cool.
You know what?
People be able to read it.
If you were going to run a classified ad that said read more comics, eat more pizza.
Do it right now.
Do it right now. Because issue 3 is going to have the turtles on the cover. And that would be the perfect opportunity for you to do something like that.
You have until the end of the day today, literally, for a classified ad if you want it in number 3.
There you go. Pizza Punk 86. Gabe at comicsthemagazine.com. That's right there. Yeah, there you go. No, Canada did not close. Tommy. Brian is in the back turning dials and twisting knobs and getting everything ready. So we had to scramble today to pull all the pieces together. And I think we have a great show, actually. I'm really looking forward to what we're talking about. All right, here we go. We're going to have a little poll, a little conversation a little bit later in the show if our guest shows up. But are you speculators, friend or foe? And I'm putting this out there for everybody in the chat too. What do you think, guys? Are speculators going to be? Are they helpful for the comics industry, or will they destroy us all in a ball of flame?
Friend, I think a rising tide lifts all boats. I think speculators drive a market, and comic fans watch that speculator market as well. And if speculators are going, this one might be really interesting, fans will pick it up, start reading it, and the fire spreads. I think more comics for everybody, whether you put them in plastic or get your fingers all grubby with newsprint. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. All right. What do you think? What do you think, Joe?
It's just, look, I'm all for anybody reading comics however they want. I just don't get it. Like I did say on the top, I'm very cheap. Like that's the reason it took me to find X-Men 141 was I don't want to pay a bunch of money for it. And like if it's bent, that's even better. Like if you saw my comics collection, some key issues that I have that are not in great condition, you would be very sad if you were a speculator. But look, I think it's like anything. I think when you start talking in definitives with comics or any subject, but let's just focus on comics for now. Not great. Like there's room for everybody. So like when the market was all speculator, not great. When the market had no speculation, no one cared, not great. But just be reasonable, folks. Have some nuance in life in general, but especially this particular issue. So
I agree with that. Tommy, give us an example. I love the narrative here when publishers chase those customers.
That's right.
When was that? I don't know when we I'm saying publishers, but I don't know when publishers really just exclusively chase speculators. I think that's it. I think might actually enjoy agree with 24/7 here. It's it is the balance of the force, right? You need that you kind of need it. I think earlier he said yin and yang. That's exactly it. But yeah. What do you think, Megan? I feel like you have just a quiet zing ready for this. And I don't know, just intuitively, I feel like you're ready.
I feel like they're helpful, like everyone's been saying. If it helps drive conversation and gets people into those comic book stores looking for something new, that's great. I feel bad for the person that went heavy on comic book XYZ number 39 back in 1996. And now they were expecting to pay for their kids' college education off of it. And now it's worth 37 cents. So it's those people that overbuy to resell. And you're leaving people out of the chance to read the book and actually find something they might love. So seeing a lot of those with like the horror comics lately, like Nectar flew off the shelves. I saw like my store that I shop at had a sign that said 1 per person. Do not try to order it online. We will connect them all to your Comics Hub accounts. We will figure it out. We will cancel, because they knew that it was a hot spec book and they wanted people to get a fair chance to read it. So I think has positives, has negatives, and it's up to each store to kind of make their own rules about how to handle them. That's best for their business. Oh, look at you. You got a spec book, right?
I picked this up a couple weeks ago because of all the spec sort of attention to it. This is not a book that I would pick up to read. It's a great book.
Yeah, that writer, he's awesome. Why am I blanking on his name?
Wagner, yeah.
Wagner.
Yeah,
Doug
he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's been in the business for a long time.
Doug, and that's just it. Yeah, and what I love about, you know what, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it for real at the real part of the show. Why don't you guys stick around? I'd love to hear some more as we're getting ready. Because we may or may not have the guest that we were planning on. So I'd love to have you guys jump in. All right. Brian, give me the thumbs up. I can see you. We're good to go. All right. Let's go. How do we get that other ball rolling? Does anybody know? No? All right.
Just click buttons until it works.
I'm just going to keep clicking buttons. I'm pulling you guys off. All right. Hey, hi, howdy, everyone. It's Tuesday, which, if you're like most of our audience, means you're opening boxes, you're putting things away, you're pulling pulls, you're doing the thing, you're finding all of the surprises and the goodies that are in there waiting for you. It's the day before New Comic Book Day, and that means it's time for Comic Industry Insiders Live, our weekly look at the comic book industry and how things are progressing. We're going to talk about some of the biggest stories in comics. We're going to talk about I think we're going to talk about speculation, what it looks like in this day and age. We're going to talk about all sorts of things, but mostly when I say we, I mean me and my buddy Brian Garside, everyone.
Hey, buddy. We're here.
Everybody was really worried that you were like, the Canadian border somehow had shut you out of the internet or something.
No way. I don't miss this show. I was just busy. I just making things happen, behind the scenes, just wheeling and dealing.
Making it happen. Buddy, what are we talking about today? Don't we have a whole slide deck ready to go? Look at that. Speaking of the orc.
Dark market returns, the speculator market. And we're going to talk about how evil it is and what a poison pill it is for the entire industry. And there's no good that can possibly come out of this.
Oh, I love that you're going to take a counterpoint that you don't agree with. I really want that for you. I want that as your narrative thread. Also, thanks to Blake for this. This is incredible. Although now that I realize we're looking at this slide, it could have been the orc market returns, and it would have been. I know.
Missed opportunity. Where were you a week ago?
I looked at it, didn't see it until just now.
Where were you a week ago? All right. Well,
I'm sad with me.
Let's talk about our rundown. We're going to start out with some hard-hitting headlines. We're going to talk about speculators. Are they good or are they evil? Possibly with special guest Brian McClay, but I don't see him here, so we may not be. special guesting.
Who knows?
Of course, we'll talk the Prana bestsellers list as we always do.
Yeah.
And then the final cut, Pesto Comics.
Can I tell you, the Adriano, we have a 5-minute package for Adriano about Pesto Comics and their launch with us soon. FOC coming up. I just did the long form interview with Adriano, and he's I don't know, he is a force. You're gonna love this video, by the way, if you haven't actually watched it yet, because not only is he a force, he's a Canadian force.
Yeah,
and you can tell.
I met Adriano on Sunday at the Toronto Comic Con, and we talked for a good half hour and just think about stuff. It was just great. He was terrific. Yeah, I'm super. It's so funny though, because he comes up to me and goes, "Hey, it's Adriano," and I'm like, nothing.
Hi.
And he's like, Adriano from Pesto Comics. Nothing. And then we're talking, and I'm like, oh, I know you, but I only recognize you like this. I don't know what this is. Like, it was so funny. Adriano, yeah. But it was like a good 5 minutes in the conversation before I clued in on who it was.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's built this incredible company just on crowdfunding. It's really, if he is the sort of the not guide. What's the word I'm looking for? Somebody give me the word I'm looking for.
Like the prototype. The
prototype. Yeah, exactly. Of what we've hoped Prana publishers could become. Right.
100%.
People who have built solid businesses just are ready to take that next step into the direct market distribution. They have good followings online. They want to bring those followings into the comic shops. They've made great books. Adriano is like, he checks all of those boxes. I'm so excited. So he joined Prana Publishers, and this is his first FOC. And Dirk Manning of SourcePoint welcomes you as well, Adriano, if you're out there. So excellent. I think we actually, that's right. We even had him on the show already. So perfect. Yeah. So we'll be talking about his book that's coming up on FOC. It's going to be a good show. I'm looking forward to it. If all the buttons work when we push them, it's going to be a fantastic one.
So far, so good. I mean, they seem to be. Let's talk about classifieds. We should have on to talk about classifieds.
Oh, let's go. I know.
Is Gabe Yoakum around? Let's see.
I think he might still be out there. You can't. You know what? It's funny. You say his name and he just pops up.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Gabe Yoakum.
For all the wrestling fans out there, classifieds, man. I was putting together the list of classifieds to send over to Rico today, because I have to get them in his hot little hands so that they can go into number 3. So if you're interested, then you need to email me, Gabe at classifieds. Oh boy. Gabe at comicsthemagazine.com or classifieds at comicsthemagazine.com. And we'll take care of you. As long as I have something in my inbox before I leave my desk for the day, which won't be for quite a while, you should be just fine.
Here, anybody want to first look at the classifieds for issue number 2? Let's pull me up here. Let's remove this. Okay, here we go. Look at that. The Silver Sprocket rules. Okay, Silver Sprocket rules.
Spoiler alert, everybody. There's a lot more than this in issue number 3.
What is that thing at the bottom? Can you bring that back?
Yeah, sure.
What is? Those are just numbers, dude. You guys screwed up. Are you aware that you screwed up?
Did we just put numbers at the bottom?
Oh my god!
You know what? I bet Rico just translated whatever classified that ad was into binary. That's all I can think.
For just binary numbers. Those guys would have to be serious bros if they did something like that.
He's a bit of a savant, that Rico. You never know what he's going to do with these classifieds, and you don't either. Only $25 a minimum and $1 per word after the first 25 words.
I wanted to do something dumb, that might be where you did it. I'm just saying.
I put a classified in for number 3, and it was so much fun trying to put together a 35-word ad. Yeah. Like, I know that sounds really geeky, but it was a lot of fun to do.
Absolutely. It's like a haiku, right? Like there's a lot of art in that.
Hey, Gabe, don't let the moss grow on this one. Don't let me let the day end without me giving you an ad. I have one in mind. Okay,
right on.
It has to do with what we dealt with today. So I think I have a good one
here.
I don't know.
That's a good one.
He is.
There I am. I'm gigantic.
Ooh,
but I'm always gigantic, so it's fine.
Oh my god!
As Adam alluded to earlier.
All right.
I did not. He
called me big and chunky, is what he
I
called
never said that. I legitimately did not say anything like that. I said something about someone else being a chunky boy, and you just happen to be the next person. It's not my fault that I.
Yeah, it's not my fault. Classifieds. Let's
Classifieds. Let's go. Gabe at comicsthemagazine.com. Send in those classifieds. Let's get it rolling. All right.
Thanks, Gabe.
All right.
Let's get our.
I like this. The idea of me being bigger. It's kind of look at all these buttons.
It's. I don't know what I've done wrong, but I have done. There we go. Here we go. Okay.
Hey, there it is.
Whew. All right. Apparently I'm gonna have to learn the buttons again because I forgot. Hard hitting headlines. As I built this slide, I realized that based on world events, this perhaps could be in poor taste. So let's just move on. Hey, did you guys know that next week the Daredevil blind bag program, True Believers blind bag, so a bunch of retailers, not me, were given copies of this so that they could see that Marvel, I wasn't one of them, has solved the issue that they had with the Ultimate blind bags where they had some damages. And apparently, I can't attest to this because I didn't get any. That is not a problem anymore. So that's good.
Yeah.
But it's coming out next week, and it will probably be a Speculator product. Because look at all those covers.
Look at those
There's
sketches.
actually actual sketches in the blind bag program. And they've decided that they're not doing the open order covers. So that every single cover will be a special cover that's only available through the blind bags, I think.
It's not that I like saying I told you so, except that it's one of my favorite phrases. But for those of you who have predicted the death of blind bags months ago, this is far, far, far from over.
Oh my goodness, dude. I brought all my blind bags to the Toronto Comic Con this weekend, and by Sunday morning I had sold all the blind bags that I brought. So blind bags are still hot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're gonna be with us for a while.
Yeah.
And they're really challenging to make, right?
Yeah, no doubt. And my favorite part was watching people tear them open because they were just they'd buy it and they'd tear it open. I was like, that was fun. So I got to see a bunch of covers I'd never seen before.
I can tell you that what was I going to tell you? What was I going to say?
They're difficult to make.
They are very difficult to make. Yeah, there is a conversation about it in this issue of Comics the Magazine right there with our good buddy Robert Kirkman. He actually talks about how challenging the timing of getting these right is. So I'm all about the spoilers for issue 2. I'm doing this enough that Joe's going to get really irritated with me when we bring him out, and the first thing he's going to do is yell at me. That's what I'm hoping.
Talking about
Oh yeah,
holy
Bloodshot.
Mackerel. Global Comics got bank.
Damn, another round of funding for Global Comics. I actually did some research on this one. Let me see if I can pull it up here. So this is actually really interesting, and I think is an indicator of things that we're going to be seeing in comics for a little while. So our friends at Global Comics, they just announced a new round of funding that got them to a total of, where did that number come in? I want to say it was $13 million. So this is their newest round. It was co-led all in. I'm sorry, it was a $13 million funding round this time around. Co-led by SBI US Gateway Fund and Point72 Ventures. If those two names mean anything to you, it means that you're a VC fan. And really, why are you watching this channel? I don't really understand that. They announced alongside a new CEO change, and they also acquired something called Anchor. I still not, as of press time, I have to admit I don't really know what that is, but that means that has brought their total announced funding to $19.5 million in total funding.
Wow.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, Yeah, I've not taken any funding, but this kind of has me.
This means actually that they are, obviously this feels like that they're in a tech play more than they're in a comics play, right? This is what it looks like when people from outside of comics see comics as an opportunity and start building inside of our ecosystem.
Yeah.
Sure. I will say that there's a part of me wants to say carpetbagger is going to carpetbag. We got to watch out for these people who come in from outside of comics. But also, it's good that there's money coming in because it means some of that money is going to trickle down to the people who have been making comics, the people who have been distributing them, like all of the things that we do. That money actually lives inside of our ecosystem if we all are participating in partners right. But
for those of us who don't exactly know, what is Global Comics?
So Global Comics is a digital comics platform. There are really basically 3 players in that market right now, not counting like webtoons and those vertical scroll sort of platforms. But there are these 3 different companies that are doing digital comics, digital Western comics in the same way that Comixology was doing them.
Okay.
Right. And so to step into the role, each one of them is trying to step into the role that Comixology had, and each one of them is doing what has always been done, which is this run on exclusives and content, right? So they're all competing for Marvel, DC, Image, and each one of them is like taking a different chunk. I believe Sweet has Image Comics. I know that Global and Neon Ichiban both have Marvel and DC, plus a long list. I think they really distinguish themselves. Global from Neon Ichiban really distinguishes itself as more of it's almost like a Netflix sort of play where you pay and you get to consume as much as you want, as opposed to Neon Ichiban, which is more of a pay by unit. And in that pay by unit, you end up with something that they call a digital collectible. And you know that money is trickling down to creators. It's a very different financial model that lives more inside of like the comics ecosystem. Sweet, on the other hand, is also a bit more of a subscription model. But honestly, I will say that of them, the people that I like the most are Sweet and Neon Ichiban, just because they are the people who kind of came up in comics. The folks at Global Comics, great people, but like I only know one of that team from a previous job. Gabe actually was worked with him at another job, but it's a very different dynamic because Neon Ichiban is trying to create the sort of collectible nature of physical comics inside of the digital platform, whereas Global is doing essentially the opposite, which means that Global is really going to make it very difficult for anybody who's not Marvel or DC to make any real money.
Yeah,
I mean, you just ask your favorite musician how much money they make off Spotify.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a tough one. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how this progresses. I don't think it's as simple as who gets the most funding. I really don't. And I really hope that we don't get to a place where we did last time, where we have one winner, which was Comixology, and that one winner becomes a single point of failure that allows that when Amazon buys them and goes out of business, or puts it out of business, is people's collections disappear, and they don't feel like they even own anything, so why bother? I really hope that we are able to keep more of a choices. I hope we can keep more choices of open to everyone.
Well, competition makes everyone better, right? Like,
I think
it's anti-capitalism to say such a thing, but at the same time, when you have one player, they tend to get stagnant and die. When you have multiple players, it's an interesting market.
I think so too. And listen, Chip and David over at Neon Ichiban, they built Comixology the first time. Chip has worked for multiple publishers. He speaks comics natively. You ever want to hear some like comics gossip about the last few decades in publishing, Chip is your guy. And Kenny from Sweet, I've had him on the podcast, is he's one of my favorite people who has come into comics in the last few years. He's wonderful. So I'm looking forward. Hopefully everybody, as you said, can continue to compete and continue to make things better and kind of push each other to be better, because a nice big umbrella would be good. Allowing publishers to actually make some money on digital comics might be even better,
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah,
this is so true. Comicsology was great until Amazon murdered it, and they did murder it. Yeah. I'm meeting Kenny
true of
today.
so many things. It was great until Amazon murdered it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm meeting Kenny today at 4:00.
Oh,
so
yay.
we got to keep this tight, and in the interest of a tight 60,
we got to get a tight 60 in.
Tight 60.
All right.
How about this fella? Look at this guy. Look at that
guy.
Yeah. So Chip Zdarsky is collecting his I'm going to try and say it the wrong way. ZCN.
Oh my God!
You
can't
even
do it. You can't even say it properly.
ZCN.
Say it properly.
It's because it feels wrong in my mouth hole.
Well, that's because he's also Canadian. I think.
I know, because it's called ZCN because he's Canadian. So anyway, he's collecting all 18 months in one trade paperback. It is called 18 Months I Can't Get Back, which I love. And it's going to have all 18 issues, and I hope all the ads, because got a couple in there. That'd be spectacular.
I know, that would be sweet.
Chip, talk to
I
me.
would love that.
You had a piece of this. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, he part of the reason why Comics Magazine lives is because Chip launched it with ZCN. And really kind of said, hey, would you like to keep this going? Whatever you decide to do. He was gracious enough to write us letters in the first issue. He's been a champion of this all along.
Yeah.
And so there wouldn't be no Comics Magazine without Chip. And he put every page of that thing together. Part of the reason why we couldn't make it bigger and couldn't make it into Comics Magazine is Chip just wouldn't allow it to go any bigger than he was able to make every month. So if you love Chip's work, you're gonna love this collection. I'm so happy that it's gonna be around.
Me too.
Yeah. He's the thing.
Do we know where to add money to Chip's inmate account? The commissary account?
We did get his inmate number.
We'll get that to you folks. We'll get that.
Go ahead and send us a note at chipsfund@comicsthemagazine.com.
Oh no, somebody okay. Well, the guy that made the slides did not do a great job this week. But let's talk about the ICV2 interview with Christina and Cameron.
Yeah. Thanks for dropping that in. I thought it was a really great interview. I mean, they're talking so much about the things that we talk about on this show, which is that the stores are just exploding. There are more stores coming online, and they're seeing that. They have grown, exponentially. And the fact that they're able to do everything that they do and grow as fast as they're growing is remarkable. Yeah. I will tell you that we do Comics Magazine is through and all the Prana publishers. We're through all three current distributors. Good for you. Good job. Except now we're looking at that's okay. It's fine.
There's a lot of buttons to push out.
A lot of buttons. I can say that we do through all the three major publishers, and Lunar is far and away still the one that most retailers are using by choice, and seemingly every market that it's available. Mm-hmm. So, listen, more power to you. Christina has been a huge supporter of the show. She's come on several times. I've interviewed her more than once. Cameron is legitimately wicked smart. One of the smartest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
He is between them, they're just there's no denying that this company is going to be a success. And as a result, comics, it shouldn't go without notice that as they rose, so did the direct market. Right?
It's true.
So say what you will about them. and plenty of people do, and I understand, and I completely understand where those folks are coming from. I gotta say, they really do know how to do what they do well. 100%. How's that?
And I've said it loud and proud for quite a while, that if it wasn't for Lunar and then PRH, we very likely would not have had a comic market right now. It would be drastically different than what we have. And
you know who agrees with you? The folks at DC Comics. I've heard it said by that team.
100%.
You're not wrong. And I will say that I think that so long as they're in place, there's a good chance we're going to keep growing. I'm looking forward to the growth of the other distributors, like Universal. I think, man, if they can get their ducks in a row, I think they have something special too. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
So, anyway. Also, nice. Thanks for the shout out, Christina, in talking about Prana Publishers. We're doing our best for our clients, and it's nice for that to be acknowledged. So we appreciate that.
So we have to bring the room down a little bit, but it's super important to recognize the passing of Sam Keith, who was just an industry juggernaut in the 90s, and I think is super influential to so many different artists and people. Sam was a giant in the industry. I never had the privilege of meeting him, but he was one of my faves.
Yeah. To see. Yeah, me too. I'm gonna drop him in. Hopefully he's ready to go. I want to bring back to the stage rather, since the pre-show banter, Mr. Joe Keating, who is the editor of Comics the Magazine. He's the editor of Recca Comics. His career is long and vast inside of the world of comics, including a big long stint at Image. Joe, why is Sam Keith so important to comics?
Well, I can speak from a couple different angles. I'll say this from a personal experience. He was the guy who really showed me what Image was. Meaning, Image starts off, and it's Rob Liefeld doing Youngblood, which was very exciting for me because I loved X-Force, and it was Eric Larson doing Savage Dragon, and Tom McFarlane doing Spawn, and it was like, you want these guys to do the superhero comic you can't get anywhere else? Like, that's awesome. But the Max showed me, like, look, there's a lot more to this than you realize. We're not just doing superhero comics. They're kind of disguised as a superhero comic. In the early issues, had some superhero trappings. Savage Dragon even shows up very early on. But that guy's imagination was just so far above and beyond. Just like, I mean, to this day, I mean, if you haven't read the Max recently, it's been a little while for me, but go back to it. Yeah. And not for nothing, but like, he doesn't get enough credit for, like, he also launched Sandman.
Exactly.
Like the guy is a genius. Look at his Marvel Comics Presents stories. I could go on and on and on. But to me, there's two things I really been getting a lot out of this, and I don't want to get emotional on the show. I'm not like Brian. I'm not going to cry in the air. But I will say two things. One is, like, this is the importance of supporting people who take big swings. I don't know exactly who brought it. I think Jim Lee may have brought in Sam to Image. I don't remember. Somebody did. Somebody was like, this guy. I mean, obviously, if you're an artist, you see that there's brilliance there, and saw what it could do for the company. But also, and like this, the other part, like, he was 62, guys. He was not old.
No.
So I don't know. Yeah. Like, if there's a comic book creator whose work has meant a lot to you, and you want to support in some way, or just say thanks.
Yeah.
Quit wasting time.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know where they're gonna go, and it's just like I had no. I mean, I didn't know him personally at all. Like, did not know he was sick. I don't think a lot of people did. But just don't take anyone for granted. That's my point. But yeah, brilliant guy and very instrumental for me as a young comic book fan. So thank you, Sam, is the ultimate thing I'm trying to get to here.
100%. And the way you would do that, I think, is good to note. Is really, I mean, first and foremost, read and enjoy, and let them know that you're reading and enjoying. Send letters, send emails, send direct messages. Let them know. See them at conventions. Step up and spend some money. They came there to interact with fans. They came there to see you. Do so, and actually, instead of using that money to buy, an exclusive toy that you might feel good about having something worthwhile, go ahead and spend that money on some original art or a print or a signing or whatever. Because those, I mean, he's right. None of us are going to live forever. And now is the time. Now is the time to say thank you. So,
yeah, absolutely.
To that end, thanks, Joe. I think we're going to have you back in a little bit for Speculator talk.
Okay, sure. See ya.
See you in a bit.
I just need to vamp for 1 second. I
can do that.
Do one quick little. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Did you fake it? I can see it. I guess I'm just gonna vamp. You know what? Here's something else I've been thinking about, and I'm gonna come up with something just as soon as I keep saying this is something I've been thinking about. Conventions. Let's talk about conventions for a moment. We have C2E2 coming up this weekend. I'm going to be there. Brian's going to be there. We're going to be there doing kind of just walking around. You should come by and say hi to us. We're going to talk about C2E2 in a little bit. You should use that as an opportunity to not only come by and say hi to us and tell us, if you like the show, if you hate the show, like we'll be there. I'm sure that
if you hate the show, I'm fine.
Yeah, I would really love it if somebody came up to us and said, "You know what, man?
I hate that show. It's terrible.
I hate that show. I watch it every week and I hate it."
You should fire that guy that did the slides this week because he's terrible.
Terrible. It's an amateur hour, this guy. But yeah, no, but the key is that when you go to these live and in-person events, they're live and in person. So interact with people. Right. We're legitimately everybody in that room who works in comics does it because they love it. Yeah. Not because they're incredibly well paid, although very, very few of them are. But because, we do this because we love it and because it feels important and because we know that we can contribute to this thing that we love. So come by and see us. Go by and see our friends at Source Point Press and Artist Alley, row H. They got the whole damn row. With Dirk Manning, that's incredible. A lot of people you've seen on this show are going to be there, including last week's final cut, and I don't know who else. It's a long list. You should definitely go see it. So, yeah,
the C2E2 Artist Alley is just spectacular. Like it's such a great community. I think New York's is bigger, but it's like so big that your brain can't. It's like $1 trillion. You can't actually fathom what $1 trillion is. That's what I think of the New York Comic Con.
Right? New York Comic Con and Artist Alley.
C2E2 is just like the ceiling's so high and it's so much space and I love it. It's my favorite Artist Alley by far.
Just a real quick answer to the question, Tommy. Yeah, I think we almost always go to NYCC one way or the other, even if we're just walking around. What our plan is for NYCC is, I don't know. We'll see. Well, I will definitely be there. Who knows if they're even going to let Canadians over the border at this point. So,
well, there's also I may be going to Europe at that time. So, October's my anniversary and my birthday and my son's birthday. So we're
Well,
a lot to figure out. Speaking of a lot to figure out, let's talk about this week's cover story, which obviously was the next slide, which I knew was there all along and didn't require 5 seconds to fix. It was there, whatever. So speculators are a big deal again, Adam.
I know, and they just came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
isn't me? Really they just came out of nowhere. We did plan on having an expert that we mentioned earlier. I won't say his name because I'm not trying to embarrass anybody, but I am really curious personally about how this. So I'd love to put it up to the chat. If there's anybody in the chat who has some viewpoint as to why it is suddenly we're seeing the folks like buying comics and speculating on them. Why are they buying it up? I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's true, but I heard this rumor that there were people who were that this was some sort of coordinated effort of picking books.
There's an entire bunch of threads on a bunch of the retailer threads about that. They think that this is something that it wouldn't take a lot to manipulate the market in this way, is what people have said, which is true. I mean, you see it all the time with stocks, right? It wouldn't be super hard, but at the same time, like, to what end?
Yeah, I mean, how much inventory can you take on and move during a period when it's hot?
We're talking
I don't entirely
dollars,
understand it.
not thousands or millions of dollars, right? Like, why it's not worth the effort to do this to this market.
Yeah. I mean, yes, Ground Zero, I'm hearing the same thing, but I don't know. Insider trading feels weird, that the idea that that's even possible inside of our market. I don't necessarily think it's impossible, but I don't understand the dynamics of it. But to do that, I want to bring in a couple people.
Let me just throw just an idea out, and it literally just came to me.
Oh, good.
So we're showing these sales charts, and some of this kind of started around the time that the sales charts started.
Are you seriously? Is that where you're going?
It is possible that people are trying to affect the sales charts.
As someone who has tried to affect sales charts in the past, I agree. It's entirely possible that but I don't know. I have a hard time believing that there aren't a lot of sales charts that are taken seriously. I will say that we do our best to take ours seriously, but I don't know that that is a real a real possibility that ours is affecting these things. People trying to get onto our list. I don't know.
If they are, it has not worked. None of these titles have been the number one. So keep trying. By all means.
Felicity brings up the idea that D&D exploding has made Orc and Dungeon Crawler Carl. Is that the name of that?
And product? Like Brett Bean was the artist on I Hate Fairyland for quite a while, and it does fairly well. So, and it doesn't take a ton to move the needle on an image book, right? Like it's pretty easy to start ranking up on image. So,
but also, I mean, how long has Doug Wagner been in this game? And he's been doing incredible work and never seeing this sort of explosion. I'm curious to know how his book lands on this. Anyway, I want to bring a couple of people back to the stage. Who we've had on most recently. Gabe Yoakum, who, when you're talking Chicago and Reed Pop, he knows a little something about that as where those things are. By the way, before we leave, you got to tell us where to be eating at this weekend. So we're gonna
as the chunky guy on the podcast.
God damn it! God damn it, Gabriel!
I'm super so I was I was living under this illusion that Gabe was coming, and so this morning I was like, oh, you know what? Gabe's not too far out of my way. I could just swing by, pick him up, and take him. And then I'm like, hey, Gabe, you're coming, right? And he's like, no, I'm in Indiana. Oh.
So it would have been a hell of a buddy comedy. There's no question on that road trip.
The best.
But I have quite. Do you want to hear a story where I can fudge it enough about speculation and the way it used to work?
I do, but first I want to bring back somebody else who has, he was at Image during periods of speculation. He's been involved in some of the biggest collectible things that have ever happened in our industry, and that it includes Comics the Magazine, Mr. Joe Keating.
Hello, folks. I have a take on this that has nothing to do with speculation.
Oh, I love it.
People are kind of wrong, and you guys touched on it a little bit, so I don't know if you want me to launch into that.
Well, listen. Let's launch into yours, and then I'm going to hear Gabe's story.
Okay. So I think everyone's kind of wrong. They're not entirely wrong, but like a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
Are there coordinated efforts for speculators going? I don't know. I don't talk. Probably. Is it significant enough to get the numbers that people are getting? No. There's no way. There would need to be like 20,000 of these guys, and maybe there is. But here's the reality. You guys touch on Dungeon Crawler Carl. I cannot emphasize on you enough what a big deal that book series is. I have it open my other window. Not the book, but the graphic novel that Vault not Kickstarter, but backer kitted, whatever you want to crowdfunded.
Right.
$2.6 million for a comic book with 26,635 backers drawn by Brett Bean. So there's that. And then there's the industry. Like we've been talking about it for like 2 years, dude.
Yeah, I know.
The Dogman generation came in. I actually think if you go back, I warned creators about this on the year-end show.
Sure did.
The Dogman generation, the Telgemeier generation, raised through manga, where we all know the story now. We talk about it every week. Got in the absolute books. Creators were like creator-owned friends of mine were like, oh, when's I gonna get to my book? Now.
Yep.
Because they've gotten into the absolute stuff. They're interested, and then they've got some more money. They're like, okay, well, what else is there?
Yeah.
And then this Dungeon Crawler Carl thing was gasoline. Because they said this guy's got another book out. He's a great artist. It looks cool. It's like an edgy version of fantasy stuff you can't get from other things.
Yeah.
And then that's when Tigress Island pops off. White Sky pops off. Like, we've been talking about this for 2 years, guys.
Yeah.
It's not like, I'm actually not surprised by any of this.
What's the Florida
I'm grateful for it because it was great timing with the magazine. But you know, you know, it's just this is what's building. This is what's happening, and it's not.
You know what I love? I'm gonna actually ask you this because I'm gonna set you up for one of my favorite lines of yours. I'm opening right now Comics the Magazine #1. Sure. And I'm opening the picks section. Comics the Magazine picks comics.
Oh,
right?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And look at what the first pick of #1, issue #1. This was picked by Joe Keating, and I know exactly what he's gonna say. Joe, why did you pick Tigress Island #1 as your top pick for that month?
Because it looked cool. I mean, that's my wild take on comics. In the magazines, you want to know my editorial strategy? I see what comics people are making, and I pick the really cool ones, and then we feature them.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be from a big publisher. There's some stuff coming from small publishers that we're featuring. And then when it comes to comics I don't know about, we bring on people like Dave Baker, and he talks about them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, that's what we're Jim Rugg. Like, hey, let's do a history of fanzines. You know, whoever. Tiffany Lee. You talking? Actually, hey, here's some breaking news. The Comics the Magazine Effect. Variety just announced. So in issue #2 of Comics the Magazine, Tiffany interviews Marjorie Liu and Sonic Takeda. You know what just got announced right now? That Amazon, those guys, are doing a new Monstrous series based off their Image book.
Jeez.
Comics the Magazine. I'm not saying it's because of us,
but not saying
it's in the
I'm not saying it's because of, but I'm not saying it's not.
I'm not saying it is at all. It's not our. They worked really hard for 60 issues and made a thing that people cared about. That's what made this happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying it's a good time for comics, and we are a lucky recipient of it.
And we've been you and I in this show, we've all been preaching this now. You're right, for 2 years, and it has been coming in. It's been projectable. It's been foreseeable. We all knew this was the case. Gabe, you had a story. I want to hear it.
Well, look, I mentioned in the chat, I think it's much different this time than it was in the past. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that the distributor that we used to have in comics as the main distributor had certain rules that could be very easily taken advantage of by publishers if they chose to. And I used to work for a company that during this story will remain nameless, that had the desire to bring a certain very popular creator, is certainly very popular in the early 2000s, late 90s, to an event in the United States, which is not his home country. Hopefully that narrows it down for everybody enough. And he just happened to be putting out a new comic book the month before that said event. And so part of the deal we made, instead of paying for his fees, we just went ahead and bought 50,000 copies of that title at the lowest number that distributor would allow us to, which I believe was 23 cents a copy. And thus that book was #2 that month on the sales charts. He wanted it to be #1, but it was #2. It was here's your hint if you got your listening ears on, as I tell my daughter. It was a magical enterprise. That's an example of how the system used to be able to be tampered with by any publisher that really chose to, if they found a willing participant.
Yeah, but here's the reality of it. Like I talk when I go on a Marvel by the Month a lot, that podcast, and we talk a lot about they read Marvel comics every month. We talk about the history of comics. And my line on that show is the history of comics is the history of distribution. And people have been gaming it. Like, it all started. I mean, look, there's things you can get into, but whatever. Max Gaines put a sticker on a folded comic section and sold that in his newsstand. Like, this whole thing has been different iterations throughout time, and people have tried to game that system. I will say the games don't seem to last very long. You know what I mean? This doesn't feel like a game to me. This feels very different. This feels, and again, I don't say this from nostalgia. I say it just from looking at the market. And DC, I think, will back me up on this. This feels like 1986 again.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's ours to lose.
Absolutely.
If we get greedy, we're going to lose it again. But if we're smart and put good works out, maybe we got a shot at this.
Yeah. And that's what it comes down to. I said it in the pre-show. Like I bought this book because of the speculation fury behind it. And I never would have picked it up and read it, but it's a really, really good book.
I will say, I really want somebody at some point to come on this program and argue with us. So if you're listening to this and you're getting really angry, reach out to me. You know who I am. You know how to reach me. Let's have you on the show. I want to hear why it is that this boom of speculators is going to be the death of us yet again. I really do. I mean, I would love to hear.
It could be. If we learn the wrong lessons. If we go all in on it, then we're toast.
Yep, 100%.
But I don't think that's happening.
I don't think so.
I agree. I want to be self-serving for a second, and just this weekend I did the Toronto Comic Con. That was my booth, and one of the cool things that we really saw was like the youth, like so many young people, and they were coming up looking for specific things. They wanted anything by Dennis Camp. They wanted to read more Absolute stuff. They were like, I went through literally 3 cases of Absolute trades, but look at the faces. Look at how little those people are. That one, the big one, is my son, but like young and buying comics. Like it was so friggin' awesome. And a big part of that is the compact comics. That stuff is like selling like crazy to these kids because it's the format they're familiar with. The Marvel ones that are slightly larger don't sell as well because they're just a little bit off, like just a tiny bit. But the DC compacts sold all day long. Like it was amazing. Yeah. I think you're totally onto something, Joe.
Jamie in the chat makes a really good point. Dogman is still super popular. We could be dealing with this year over year for 10, 15, 20 more years because of how popular and how lasting Pilkey's creation is. 100%. I showed my daughter Dogman the movie on I don't know what streaming service it was about a week and a half ago, and she sat through most of it. She's almost 3, but like she doesn't do that for anything. So there's something to it.
Yeah, that movie is also like it is built for the Gen Z and Gen Alpha. It's just there's so much going on. I literally had to turn away because there's so much going on the screen. But that's a key piece of all this, right? Is like comics are in these kids' DNA. They didn't have to learn how to read a comic, which my daughter's boyfriend, I gave him Exquisite Corpses. And after I gave it to him, I was like, I wonder if I have to tell him like you read a comic in a Z, right? Like, I don't know what was his background. Because when I gave my wife her first comic, I was like, okay, this is how you read a comic. Because she didn't have the vocabulary for it, right? That's not a problem with this generation. They just know.
They speak it natively.
Yeah.
100%. Awesome. Absolutely. We are running out of time, boys. I really appreciate y'all jumping in. We're gonna talk some bestseller lists. We still have a bit more show to do. I'm sure I'll be talking to both of you every single day. Thanks again for coming on the show, Joe and Gabe. We'll see you next time.
I gotta say too, one of the big differences, and we see a couple people saying different things, but the last time, the thing that broke us was that those speculators were coming in and buying a case of X-Men. They were buying a case of the Valiant book. They were buying a case of, now they're buying 3 copies. That's not going to break the industry, right? No. Like that is not the thing that will break us. So I think we're okay.
I think so too. Well, let's get into how some books are selling. You want to talk?
Oh my gosh, let's talk about it, my friend. Let's talk about it. By the way, I have headphones on because my AirPods died. Great. Just one thing after another, you know.
This is one of those days, buddy. Really all right. The Prana bestseller list is a project we've been working on now for several years. Luckily, for our partnership with Brian here. Thank you, buddy. And Django and Jeff out there, the comic shop assistant, we've been able to put together a cohort of 600 plus stores in various different markets, different countries. Over 80,000 consumers are subscribing. They are purchasing. for the purpose of this list, as opposed to things like the pull box power rankings, this is what is selling in comic shops now. So we are ranking them this week. We have a little extra data, so I'm looking forward to showing that. I'm actually going to pull that up, Brian, so that we can talk about it in a minute. If you'll vamp for just a second about that.
Absolutely.
There you go. We are just in vamp mode today, my friend.
So many, yeah. And the data is getting more accurate by the week as we kind of normalize it. And we've been working on a very, very large data project behind the scenes to make everything much better. So as we get this even better, man, I'm really excited about like the next 6 months, especially. And we're going to talk about some of this next week on next week's show.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, this is last week's sales.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to bring up some numbers. So obviously DC Comics killing once again. They just cannot stop. Marvel trailing behind despite all the SKUs they want to put into the marketplace. Image in that solid number 3, 14 to 18% just seems to be where they live. Even with the speculators jumping all over their products, we're seeing that. I have to say, the idea that Prana made the list again this week is something I'm super proud of.
It's pretty great, yeah.
I know. And let me see if I can, let's see.
I've got the file. I'm just going to download it and take a look at it myself.
Well, actually, if I present here, it's going to be, we're actually going to show share screen. There we go. And we're going to show a window, and that's not working. Okay, there we go. Well, nope, that's not going to do it. Oh, wait a minute. I'd have it. No, I don't have it. God damn it. I'm sorry, guys. Well, let's talk about it. I can just talk through the numbers. Number 1, Lobo, number 1. Not surprising. But I love the fact that Lobo, of all characters, is getting his day in 2026. Batwoman, number 1. Deathstroke, number 1. DC takes the top 3 spots with 3 number 1s.
And can I add that all 3 of those had bundles? And I swear that the bundle stuff is a large part of the reason why this stuff is doing so well, because I can take a much larger risk on these. I bought 2 bundles of Lobo because if I don't sell them right now, I guarantee you I'm going to sell them in a couple months when that movie comes out, right?
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it. Batwoman, I bought a bundle. Deathstroke, I bought a bundle. Those things are going to sell forever. They're number 1s. Yeah, it was a no-brainer.
Amazing Spider-Man enters the chat at number 4 with, I would say, so Lobo is averaging 30 copies per store. Batwoman, 23 copies. Deathstroke, 22 copies. And Spider-Man entering it at number 4. With number 24 at 19 copies.
That crossover is doing really, really well. The Death Spiral crossover is doing really well. Yeah, we've seen an increase in our Spider-Man numbers for sure.
Here's what's good. Here's what Image enters into the list at number 5 with Invincible Universe Battle Beast.
So that's
the number 7.
First issue of their hiatus. They went on like a 3-month hiatus and put out a trade paperback in the meantime of the first 6 issues, and then now we see the fruits of that labor right there.
100%. We've got Absolute Flash, our first Absolute on the title at number 6. Ultimates, Ultimate Wolverine, Absolute Batman number 18. Not even a new one. It ends at number week 3.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing.
How? Well, you know what? Here's what I will say. Prana enters the chat at number 40. With Comics the Magazine, we averaged 5 copies. Week 2.
It's amazing.
5 copies per store in that. And Ghost Pepper was right after us. That's awesome. Number 41. Anyway, this has been it's been an incredibly dramatic time in comics. I would say I notably Oni Press comes in at number 37 with Dead Teenagers number 1. White Sky number 1 still on the list at number 39, doing incredibly well. What is hitting me is the number of titles that are like hitting week after week after week. Yeah. At some point, I think we're going to have to like start noting that in this data.
Yeah, White Sky got a new printing, so I think it was the second printing came out last week. So that may be why that came back up.
that definitely works. Yeah, it's been a dramatic little time here. Rounding out in the top 100, we've got, I mean, obviously a lot of DC and Marvel. IDW gets in there with Starship, Godzilla Kaisei era, number 6 at number 61. Boom enters 85 and 86 with Last Day of H.P. Lovecraft. Baby Garfield, number 1, 2.5 copies per store. Baby Garfield, number 1.
That's Dynamite, right?
Would have thunk it. No, that's Boom.
Oh, Boom. Okay.
Yeah. Dynamite's got Harley Quinn, Elvira on the list at number 5. Number 5 comes in at number 97. Ignition Press, Roots of Madness, number 5, breaks the top 100 at number 98. So, I mean, only Adventure Time 2025 comes in. Mad Cape Studios gets Racer X number 5 in the top 100. So, anyway, it's a good time, man. It's a good time for selling comics.
Absolutely.
Who was that? Udon. Udon was on there. I want to make sure that I note why they were on there. Oh, Mega Man X number 2. Yeah. So, can I tell you, man? It's so satisfying to know that we're selling week after week for this magazine. Know, right? I just, I don't know. I'm chuffed, as they say.
You should be.
Yeah.
Well, on that note,
my lighting
why don't we kick off a little?
Oh yeah, I like it. Let's do it. Final cut. This is something we do every week. We teased this earlier in the show. Anytime there's a PU, there's a final order cutoff. Our friend Keith Davidson sits down with whichever of our clients has an FOC order that week. This week, it's Adriano. Not even going to try his last name at Pesto Comics. And I mean, the most Canadian wrestling comic you've ever heard of. So
stick around after this too, because we got a couple of really fun announcements. So stick around, and I think you'll actually really enjoy this final cut. So without any further ados,
please
let's
welcome to the final cut, where we take a quick look at upcoming projects headed to stores. I'm your host, Keith Davidson, Prana's direct market specialist, and I'm joined this week by Adriano Originello, writer of the original comic book series From Parts Unknown and publisher of Pesto Comics. Welcome.
Right on. Thanks for having me, Keith.
So let's get right to the action. What's From Parts Unknown about?
Well, From Parts Unknown, the quick pitch is it's pro wrestling and vampires. But what it's really about is two brothers that are a tag team. They're going to a show, an indie show somewhere up north in the cold. And when they get there, they realize that it's not going to be so easy to get out, and they're going to have to fight their way out to, make it out with their lives. So some pulp action, some fun, some just pro wrestling escapism.
Great. Now, the story is brought to life by the work of Daniel Koval and JP Jordan. What do you love about their work, and what do they bring to the storytelling?
Yeah, so the way this team was put together was I actually reached out to Daniel first, and JP brought a whole new level to it. So Daniel has some very expressive, like cartoony but detailed art in there, and JP brought it to a whole nother level. One of the things that when I have this book, I had a version of this book out there, and when people would walk by and see it on the table, the colors would draw people in, and then people were really into the art. So even though it's about vampires and pro wrestling and all that, and there's some gore and of course all of that goes into it, it's still done in a way that is more fun than anything else, right? Like this isn't a horror book. It's an escapism book. It's the fun of pro wrestling done in comic book form. So it's really something that the art brings out. The colors are like nothing else. It's got this like neon vibe, and the art really pulls that off as well.
Excellent. So now let's talk about the audience for From Parts Unknown. Who do you think will love to read this book?
Yeah, so not to put too high of a target up there, but I think the folks who've enjoyed Do a Powerbomb and the folks who enjoyed The Walking Dead will really like this. The action scenes of The Walking Dead. It's not nearly as morose. This is really meant to be escapism, to be fun. And if you enjoyed that kind of thing, even DC versus vampires, like those kind of books, this is what you're coming in here for. It's the fun of vampires, but really it's the fun of pro wrestling. It's we're all in this because it's kind of goofy, kind of silly, but there's real stakes involved. Like these two brothers have to get out of here with their lives. So it's a little bit of the action of pro wrestling and the goofiness of pro wrestling with a little bit of the seriousness of vampires and all that comes with it.
Now, this is the first foray into the direct market for Pesto Comics, and it's timed for release at the end of April. What should comic shop retailers know about the launch?
Well, you hinted at it. So it's time for release at the end of April. With the main thing about that is Free Comic Book Day is the following Saturday. So we'll be on the shelves right in time for Free Comic Book Day. And in order to make that very easy for retailers, we put a bundle together. So it's 10 for 10. So if you look in the catalog, you'll see very easy to get as many copies of this as you can, as easily as possible, really trying to take the risk off of the retailers. And in speaking to that, the other thing we're doing is you can order, your 10 for 10, get as many as you want, and then you can really gauge how much you're going to get of issue 2 because we've skipped the solicit month. So you will have the book in your hands, you'll make your sales, and then you can put in your order for issue 2 based on actual numbers. So we're really trying to take the risk off of retailers and make it easy for you guys to get the books out there.
Great, that's really smart. Any last words that you'd like to share about from Parts Unknown?
Yeah, the whole thing is this is escapism, right? It's pro wrestling at its finest. It's meant for people who just want a time of fun, just want to go and enjoy something and not think about all the things happening in the world or anything like that. They just want to enjoy themselves for a few minutes, and that's what From Parts Unknown is. Just have a good time, read the book, escape for a while. That's the idea.
Great. Well, Adriano, that's all for today. Thank you so much for joining us on The Final Cut.
Right on. Thank you for having me.
And to our viewers, one last reminder that From Parts Unknown will be hitting stores on April 29th. Retailers, look for it in the Prana Publisher section of your distributor catalog and on FOC this coming Monday. Take care.
Thanks, Keith and Adriano. As he mentioned, From Parts Unknown, going to be available this FOC. Here are all the codes, depending on where you're ordering from. Sounds like fun though, right? I mean, this is seriously, this book is going to be a good time.
This is the Venn diagram of things I love, like wrestling, vampires. Look at that art too. Like, it's so fun looking. It's simultaneously like lucha inspired and manga inspired. It's just, I love it. I love it.
You want to hear a joke I just wrote?
Yeah.
What does the Canadian vampire say?
I don't know.
Blah blah. Sorry. Pretty good, right?
That is terrible.
Good.
And if you use your QR code, that will take you right to the comic previews page for From Parts Unknown.
Look at that.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed any of, speaking of QR codes, if you enjoyed any of today's talk about sales charts or industry news or anything like that, boy, do I have a newsletter for you. You should check out the Prana Bullet. Go to pranadm.com right now or scan this QR code as soon as Dirk Manning gets out of the way. And sign up for the very next Prana Bullet. Our friend Megan, who is in the pre-show banter, puts this thing together every week, and she does an incredible job. We put together the entire top 400 list of our bestseller list. We show you the graphics for our market share reports. Like we do try and put a whole lot of love into this newsletter, and it should be everything that is going to affect your business or career in comics that week. So check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And while you're there,
check
us out at C2E2 next week.
Oh, see you at C2E2. We have a party. My favorite parts about the C2E2 every year is we do a party at the Goblin Market, which is one of the most beautiful shops I have ever been in my life. I love comic shops, and this one is easily top 10. Easily. They do such a beautiful shop. Yeah. And then downstairs, they have this little lounge area where it looks like your grandmother's dining room, but it's all full of really, really wacky art, and it's just gorgeous. It's just such a beautiful thing. I'm so looking forward to hanging out with the Goblin Market crew and all the rest of you. Yes, Dirk, for those I know you sent me an email. Yeah, bring the whole chain of your artist alley. Just bring them all, okay, buddy? I want to see the whole crowd there. It's a free thing, but I would love it if you would RSVP. If you could send us an RSVP to info@pranadm.com, and we'll make sure to get you on the list. We just want to make sure we have enough beer, frankly.
I'll be there. So just I don't know if I've sent an RSVP, but just FYI, I'll be there.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna have enough beer. That's now the Canadians in the chat. God damn it. Another week where I forgot to show the picture of you trading clothes.
I'm going to be at C2E2. So if you want to come see me in Chicago Thursday or Friday, I'll be there. I'll be on the show floor visiting shops, tagging along with Adam. I think I'll be part of your panels or in some way, shape, or form. Maybe I'll just be like shining spotlights in your eyes or something, but I'll definitely be there.
If you're watching this and you haven't been asked to be on a panel yet, we still got our panelists together. So
that's right.
Dirk's going to be on one. There you go.
Dirk
will
Looking forward to meeting you, Dirk.
There you go.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Maybe we should do that. All right. You know what? Comics Magazine number 3. We dropped the number 3 cover. It is going to be out not very soon. So why don't you go out and make sure that you put it on your subscriptions? Make sure that Comics the Magazine is there for you every month. We want to make sure that you see it. Scan this QR code. You can get on our mailing list. Number 2 is going to hit stores any minute now, and it is going to change minds and hearts and surprise some people. Surprising is a good word of this one.
It's super important that people add it to the list too, because that's the number one way that you can signal to your store that you're supporting something like this. So if you are listening to this and your store has a pull list of any sort, make sure you add it to it. Even if they're giving it to you for free, ask them to add it to your pull list so that they know that this is important to you and that it's not just something that you're taking and running away with. So it's super, super important.
Absolutely. Did we do a whole show, Brian? Did we?
We did, buddy. I can't believe it. And it was almost tight. Yeah, 64. Tight 64. Nicely done. Nicely done. We scrambled a little bit today, but you know what? I was pretty confident that we were going to pull it off.
Every week I like to end this with a special sign off. This week I have a very special sign off for somebody in particular, if you don't mind, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take a moment.
You.
All right. For a while now, I've come to this conclusion that it's what we do that defines us. What we believe, what we own, what we say out loud. Those things, they can indicate our intentions, but it's only in action that we define who we are, both to ourselves and to the world around us. Blake Morgan has done more for the comics industry in his time at Prana Direct Market Solutions than most of the people I've known combined have done in their entire careers. He's driven, he's creative, he's multi-talented, and he decided to step away from Prana this week. So he's going to be really, really hard to replace. Good luck, Blake. We'll be here if you ever need us. And in the meantime, thanks for saving comics. Namaste, y'all.